Hey yo guys, welcome back for part 2 of listed top 20 best tag teams thrown together. Before we continue with the countdown, let's review from where we are. Team number 20, the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly. Team number 19, Test and Albert. Team number 18, Marty Jannetty and the 1-2-3 Kid. Team number 17, Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow. Team 16, Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. Team 15, Kane and X-Pac. Team 14, Rey Mysterio and Edge. Team number 13, Owen, Hart and Yokozuna. Team number 12, Kane and the Big Show. And team number 11, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels. Now, back into the countdown. Team number 10 is Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Now, they're together because, first of all, they have chemistry because they're family. Your great combination of speed and power. Come on, they were a damn good tag. They had a decent match on Mania 13. I mean, it was okay. Let's put it that way. But really, they were great, and they eventually almost had their splitting up, which led to the reformation of the Hart Foundation, which was great. I mean, come on, Bulldog did together. Owen was always the one who was trying to overshine Bulldog in promos and stuff, which I like. I mean, Owen was great on the mic with Bulldog. Let's just face it. So anyway. Team number 10, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Team number 9 is Justin Credible and Lance Storm, the Impact players. Now, excuse me. The reason they're on this list is because I started watching ECW in '99 when they were on TNN. And, they're the first team I thought was like, wow, I mean, that's probably the best tag team in wrestling as it is. So, I mean, come on, they're just two great technical wrestlers. I mean, Storm was clearly the better of them, but come on, they're just so good. I mean, they had Dawn Marie as their manager, and they had some guy named Jason along with them, which I didn't mind, but hey, they had a great feud with Raven and Lance Storm, and they were one of the better tag team champions in ECW in my mind. They're probably up there with me, the third best tag team ever in ECW. So anyway, team number 9, Justin Credible and Lance Storm. Team number 8 is Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Now granted, they did have some tag team matches together, not for any belts or anything, which was good, because pretty much it would have been terrible if Hogan and Savage were champions. That would have been terrible. But they're on here because of those two together was like the last of the big boom 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 era, you know what I mean? Before Mania 5 to me was the end, and they teamed together in Survivor Series and then eliminated 2 survivors in Survivor Series 88. What else? They had a good feud with the Dream Team. What am I thinking? The Twin Towers. I mean, the stuff, and then eventually those matches with the Twin Towers led to the breakup of the Mega Powers into Mania 5, which is probably one of my favorite Manias. So come on. That's a dope team. And the fact that pretty much Hogan helped Savage get over, become champion more. I mean, not the fact what happened to Mania 4. I mean, he pretty much elevated his game a lot more. So I gotta give Hogan props a little bit there. But anyway, team number 8, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Excuse me. Team number 7, Raven and Now, these two, we all know, have had the best rivalry in ECW, and maybe in wrestling. Like, they had some of the best feuds ever. So, it's only fitting you bring them back as a tag team. So, come on. I mean, Raven comes back from WCW, teams with Dreamer, and they beat the Dudley Boys on Dudley's last night in ECW, but they win the belts, which is awesome. Then they go on and have their feud with the Impact players, as I just said, which was a great great feud. I mean, I know they went on at least 2 pay-per-views and just knocked the fuck out of each other, which is great. I mean, you gotta have that in wrestling. So, I just really liked it, the fact that these 2 bitter enemies were gonna be tag team. I mean, it's great ring psychology. I mean, this is why, such a good team, had good matches, and the fact that they were just bitter enemies. So anyway, team number 7, Raven and Tommy Dreamer. Team number 6 is Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine, the Dream Team, with their manager Luscious Johnny B. Don't forget him. Now, excuse me. They're on here because, come on, they're a good combination of style and wrestling, pretty much. Beefcake was the stylist. I mean, he could go in the ring. He was in great shape, too. But Valentine clearly carried the team. And they won the belts from, I think it was the U.S. Express again. And then they went on and had a tremendous match at Mania 2 with the Bulldogs. So that's why they're on here. And they were pretty much the best. The team of the 80s, you know, if you were in a and have success, they're your greatest example of it. So anyway, team number 6, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, and Greg Valentine. Team number 5 is Kane and the Undertaker. Now, this team was obviously great because it was finally Undertaker and Kane reuniting. The only thing I think that lacks on this team is that at this point in Taker's career, he was Biker Taker. If it had been Undertaker, Dark Side, that would have been great. It would have made the team go much better. Come on, they just dominated teams. They definitely did treat the WCW guys like dicks and wouldn't sell anything for them. But hey, they had some great matches with people, except their match with Chronic. That was just shit. No offense, Chronic, but that was shit. Anyway, team number 5, Kurt Angle and Kane and the Undertaker. Blech. Team number 4, Rock and Sock Connection, Mankind and The Rock. This is your classic example of you have a great guy in the mic and a guy that and two guys that can go in the ring. I mean, Rock would just pretty much make fun of Mankind and stuff like that, and then they'd have good matches with people. I mean, they were pretty much the team that didn't like teaming with each other, but hey, they went out, had kick-ass matches, and it sucks that they lost to the New Age. It's just shitty. Of course, I mean, there's so many moments that led from that. I mean, The Rock, This Is Your Life, so great. I mean, this is at the peak of the Attitude Era in my mind, and they were a great team. And once again, they're a team that is good because of the chemistry they had between each other, and now you're transforming that together, which is just fantastic. So team number 4 is The Rock and Mankind. Team number 3 is Kurt Angle and Benoit. Once again, it's that same way. Great matches together, why not make them a team? And the talent on that team is unbelievable. I mean, it'd be like some sports owner owning the Yankees and the Montreal Canadiens. Just imagine about the championships you'd have together and the money you'd run in. I mean, come on. That is just a dope team. And they did have segments together, but they had kick-ass matches. They won the first ever. They were the first ever SmackDown champions. They were part of that kick-ass triple threat tag match Survivor Series 02. I mean, come on. It was just great to see them team together after they're knocking the fuck out of each other. So anyway, team number 3 is Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Team number 2, the first and only TNA AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. It's the same thing of, like, you know, this is like one of the themes that keep recurring on here. The two guys that hate each other and had great feuds together. Now you're transitioning that together. But come on, these guys pretty much saved tag team wrestling in TNA in 06. Maybe in the business last year. Their feud with LAX has got to be, if not the best feud of the year. I mean, come on. Even though most of them were gimmick matches, just stunning stuff that happened from them. I mean, it really elevated LAX to what they were. I mean, now TNA's fucked them over, but what they were today. And just some of the moves that would come off these guys just makes you unbelievable. It's like you're playing an arcade game when you watch those guys together. Just some stunning stuff. And whoever jumped all the way across the X ropes. It's not Ultimate. It's Ultimate X, yeah, and the Ultimate X match against it. That was awesome. But team number 1, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes. These guys were just thrown together and were like, hey, what the hell, go see what can happen. And they turned it into such a success. So to the point that the guys in the locker room could not stand them and their success. They had to break the team up and make them feud with each other. You know, which sucked, but hey, come on. These guys did some really inventive stuff. I mean, Flair for the Old, funny skit. Their feud with Steamboat and Douglas was great. They feuded with some other team, and I can't remember them right now. But come on, these guys were great together. So inventive. I mean, come on, remember the lights in their boots? That was just awesome. They were great on promos. I mean, these guys were the best tag team ever thrown together, simply by the success that they had. I mean, it's the chemistry factor too, because these guys were just with each other every day, all day, and they turned it into a great career. And it's a shame they have to be broken up. But anyway, that's list the best tag teams thrown together. I may hit you with the Raw review later. But anyways, I'm out for now.